Hey dolls, welcome to Pinkie's podcast. This episode may contain some naughty language, so if you're a delicate doll, bye bitch. But before you go, please hit like and subscribe. Thanks, honeys. Hi guys, welcome back to Pinkie's podcast. Thank you so much for coming back. I have got a Scottish royalty babe in his house, honeys. This is insane. I'm not joking. She is Glasgow's it girl. She is the founder of Glasglow Girls Club. Try and say that without a speech impediment. She's iconic. She's Laura Maginess. Wow. I can't believe you're here.
No, I honestly don't think I've ever heard such an intro before. So thank you so much.
No, you totally are.
I don't feel like it, but thank you. Well, that's amazing.
You are. So now you know.
You made my day.
Now you know. But yes, I just can't believe I've finally got you here, and you love it.
Well, this place is insanely amazing.
Oh, thank
you.
Pink
for a start.
Yeah.
But then the Barbie toilet, the clothes, the lampshades, the whole place is just so you.
Oh, it is. Like I said, this is my brain. This is just an explosion of me.
And it's awesome.
Oh,
we love it.
Well, we love you. And how I start with this podcast, I always start with how we met.
Yes.
So we were trying to remember the last time we saw each other, but I think we first met, was it at the bank? I feel like that was the first networking event.
Yeah, I think it was.
Yeah, I'd kind of seen you online through the Glasgow Girls Club, and I can't even remember how I stumbled across it. I think because I know a lot of boss babes, I think they were involved, and I thought, oh, this is interesting. And everybody was just sound, like really nice people, same ethos, women can do whatever they want. And I noticed your group, but is there a page and a group on Facebook?
So yeah, the page is almost like the shop window, and then the group's where it's at, where the community is.
Because there was so many, how many questions do you think you get on there a day? But they're just
hundreds and hundreds. So I think one week we had 5,000 posts go into the group. So it kind of it can go up and down. But yeah, we're averaging high numbers, so there's lots of chats happening.
But there's so much interaction with it. It's not just like dead posts. It's like somebody will be like, girls, I've got to sell my house. Like, I need somebody that I can trust. Like, I need a solicitor. I need this. And there's like 50 comments. And I'm like, yes. Do you know, though? Because it's just for like ridiculous little things like that you might think is ridiculous. But you know that everyone in that group, you can trust their opinions. Do you know what I mean? You feel there's a safety net about the Glasgow Girls Club. Yeah,
there's a real women supporting women ethos that runs through it.
Yeah,
and then on a Sunday we have something called Supportive Sunday. So that's where we let in the posts which could be deemed to be slightly more triggering. So the really deeply personal posts, and we let people know that if you're kind of on a feeling like low emotionally, maybe don't check in the group on a Sunday because you'll have like relationship stuff.
Yeah. Oh well, we should get to that because there was a sex post once and I was dying at the comments. It was just too good. It was like, girls, how do I feel about being hot? And I was like, oh mate, where is this gonna go? Where is this gonna go? And it was just, honestly, I was howling reading it.
The comments were brilliant.
Was so good. You know which one I mean, don't you?
I know exactly the one that you mean. And there was another one. Any sex post, because we are a sex positive group. I think it's good to allow women to chat, because for so many years women were like, don't be sexual and
what the hell,
don't please yourself, just like. But now I think there's been a real kind of sexual revolution for women.
Oh yeah,
if that's the right thing to say. And yeah, in the group we love those posts because we think, the chat is real.
It's real.
It's very, like, there's lots of lightheartedness about it. And people obviously want to share it.
Yeah, and they can post anonymously as well.
Yes, I am a big believer in the anonymous posting, because I think that it should be everybody's right to be anonymous or not. And I have, when I first switched it on, I noticed that like most of the posts were then being anonymous. So I put it out to the group and I was like, you do know that you don't have to post anonymously. Like, you can post non-anonymously.
Yeah.
But the feedback was, we feel more comfortable.
Yeah,
some people
exactly.
didn't want messages behind the scenes of selling, which we actually don't allow anyway. So if we hear about that, we would remove someone for doing like cold selling behind the scene.
Yeah, so you don't get any of those annoying posts in there.
No, we don't want people's privacy being infringed. But yeah, most ladies, they get the choice, basically.
But I think that's what drew me to it, because obviously I was up here, like I said to you, I didn't know anybody. I didn't know anyone. So apart from doing my dance classes and things like that, where, you know, I am a people person, I need to speak to people. Like,
you absolutely are.
I cannot sit in four walls and exist. I was like, I need to speak. But then I found you guys, and it's one of those things, whatever I do, like, I don't know what it is, I'm very obsessed with researching everything. So I was just like, yeah, this is a slice of me, like, this is a bit of me. So I think I joined my business, and then when I saw the networking events, I was like, yes, let's do it. And I came with Madry.
We love Madry.
She's amazing.
Yeah,
she's
Madry,
so good. She's been on the podcast.
She is one of these humans that you meet, and she does have like a ball of light around her, just similar to you. And you're just like, there's just real amazing soul. There's a really amazing soul, isn't there?
I'm surprised it didn't like spontaneously combust in there when we both walked in, to be honest, because I was like, whoa, are they ready for this?
When you and Madry walked into the speed networking, I was like, yes,
yes,
I am attracting my tribe.
I love it. And that day we had, who was the guest speaker? Was it Laura?
Was it Laura Boyd?
Yes.
Yeah.
Wow.
She is wow, isn't she?
What a story, though, as well. I was just like, I think my mouth was just open the whole time. I was like, she is incredible. And since she's had a baby.
I know.
How amazing.
I know.
I mean, that's how bloody long ago it was. Jeez, how old's her child
now?
now?
This is true, because Laura and I had a baby round about the same time, I'm sure. I think there's maybe a month of a difference.
Yeah.
So the last time we seen each other was definitely pre-COVID.
Yeah.
And pre-Bella Rose, my daughter.
Yeah.
So
I think that was when we were at the bar at George Square. I'm sure it was.
So maybe
I think that
it was.
because I'm sure the bank was the first one I went to.
Okay.
But that was a really cool space. So you do these networking events. Is what you still do them?
We still do them every single month. Yeah, we stopped during COVID and then started as soon as we could. But every single month we have a different speaker.
Yeah.
And there's speed networking, and it's a good formula because I think sometimes at networking events, and I've been to loads, and even I, having been a bit of a seasoned networker, I still feel quite nervous about going up to people and being like, hi, like interrupting a conversation, whereas I feel like speed networking is predetermined times. You connect with the person or you don't, but you get to move on regardless.
And I think it's really good because it almost gives you a bit of you get annoyed because you're like, oh God, we're having a really good conversation, but then you think, well, that's a link now.
That is a link.
They're not going to forget me.
No.
Like,
And you follow up. So we send out the delegate lists after, so you've got the emails and you can follow up.
And so is that why, I mean, people that don't know about Glasgow Girls Club, is that why you started it? Was it you wanted a network of women, or what was like, I'm going to do this? Was it a natural
Do you know, that's
evolution?
a really good question. I never intended to make a business from it.
Right, okay.
So for me, I wanted to create a community for women to chat. So my idea for it first came when the internet first started. I was maybe P7 or first year. I think I was going into first year. And I used to love chat rooms. Being in chat rooms, speaking to humans from across the globe. It blew my mind. I was like, this is like the world is opening up to us.
Yeah.
But what I didn't really like was some of the creepy stuff that you got.
Yeah.
And I felt as though there was a real element of it being unsafe for a woman. And
totally.
I said to myself then, I was like, I really want to just start a chat room for women where you don't have that. It cuts that out. And it's just a safe space for women to talk about women things. And then fast forward a good few years later, and I was rolling about my floor with my dog, and I was just like, a Facebook group. It was almost like a digital download, and the sun came through the living room window.
The universe.
And I had my wee dog Haggis on top of me, and I was like, a Facebook group Haggis, and she was looking at me like, can you just continue scratching me?
What are you on about?
You're talking pure shite as per usual. But and then I just started it right then and there. I was like, just got my phone, started it, added all the ladies on my friends list, asked them to add all their ladies, and it snowballed. And I think very quickly we had 800 followers in 3 days.
Wow.
And then now we've got about just shy of 46,000. So, and
That is insane.
it is continuously growing as well, which is good.
And because it's word of mouth, but do you know what? I feel like, I mean, I know a lot of things. I have very weird things. Sometimes I just know things.
Oh, yes.
But I kind of feel like I knew that's how it started, even though I didn't know that story. Because it has that feel. Do you know, of just, this is organic.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Oh, I love
because
that.
I think, I mean, obviously I know that you are a business bitch. Do you know what I mean? Like, you are.
Thank
But
you.
I think, like, I think the club just has that natural, this is just here for you vibe about it. I know obviously
amazing.
you've turned it into a business, which is incredible, and why wouldn't you? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I think it has that grassroots of, this was just me wanting to hang out with cool chicks.
Yeah,
you know?
definitely. And the whole vibe, the whole ethos of it is that women can do anything.
Yeah.
Especially when you're supported by other women.
Yeah.
Because when I launched the Facebook group, it was probably one of those moments in my life, because see, at that point, and probably for years before it, when I was at maybe late teens and my 20s, I had no self-confidence. I didn't believe in myself. I would really had a bit of a facade going on. So for me to press go live on that
was massive.
Yeah. Because I think if someone had said to me, you do know the minute you press this, you're going to have to run a community, you're going to have to public speak, and I would have maybe been like, oh,
Yeah.
I don't know if I can do that. That's maybe not for me.
Yeah.
But I just didn't think about it. I just did it.
Just did it.
And
So good.
That's why it's, and you're right, I did create a business from it, but what I try to make sure is that there's always things that are accessible for people that aren't involved in the business.
Yeah.
So the community is free.
Yeah.
We put experts in to share knowledge on things like menopause, anxiety. You know, we've got people serving the community and giving lots of free knowledge.
Yeah.
We do some free events as well.
Yeah.
Our book club is free unless you want to come to an event in relation to it. So I'm very aware that the group is full of every type of woman, and I think that's the magic of it.
It is, totally. There's somebody for everything.
There is somebody for everything,
Yeah.
and all different ages and stages
Yeah.
and backgrounds and cultures.
Yeah.
So
because even at one networking event, there was somebody with legal background, there was somebody that had mental health qualifications, there was somebody that had a clothing brand, there was somebody with a furniture brand, there was me. Don't know what I was doing. But there was Madre, do you know what I mean? And it was just like, wow, this is good. This is good. And me and you both know, like, we can paint a picture of, oh, women are all so nice, but some women are not nice. But there's never that vibe.
Yeah,
there's never been. How do you do that?
We
How do you weed out the sass?
We weed them out. Because I think sometimes, and you never know who's behind an account, that's the thing.
Yeah.
So sometimes I believe that there's maybe just some actual robot accounts that just go in and cause mayhem. But you never know what's going on with the person either. So I always like to try and give people the benefit of the doubt. But if someone is like a dick, like they're out. Or if someone's...
If you're a dick.
Yeah, if someone...
I love that Scottish
dick. Or if someone's a wee bit, like, nippy, we've almost got, like, a couple of strikes. So we're very aware of the same names.
Because you can have a bad day.
You can have a bad day, and we all do.
Yeah.
And if you're invested in a community and you see something you don't like, it's probably quite easy just to go...
Yeah. And, you know, I will say that to women and men, everybody, with social media and posting and things like that. Read it once, read it twice, read it 3 times, because you cannot sense a tone from a post, can you?
No.
And it's so difficult because I've had, you know, things with family or friends and stuff, and you send a message, because I can message really fast. I think everybody can now. It's crazy. But you'll send it and then you think, oh God, they could read that another way. And then they do. And you're like, oh, but I really didn't mean it like that. And it's so easily done.
Yeah, true.
But, you know.
Yeah, and it's the same with every form of communication, like email as well.
Yeah.
You'll get some like one-word emails and stuff. It is the same, it's the tone.
Yeah.
That's why I'm such a fan of like a voice note.
Yeah. I was just going to say, I wish Instagram would do that. But I mean, obviously you can do video, so it's a different thing.
Yeah.
But like, yeah, I feel like on Facebook posts and stuff, you should maybe be able to put a little voice note.
Yeah, that would be amazing. And maybe that's so something cool that they'll do, let's face it. But
why hope I get 20% off that, by the way. That was my idea. What day is it? What time is it? But it is such a thing, isn't it? Because you think, sometimes I'll read things and I'll go, oh, that's a bit, like, close to the bone. But then you may read it again and go, oh, maybe they mean it that way. I can't really think of it.
No, listen, I know exactly.
You know what I mean?
Because there's been a few posts that I've read and I've reached out to the person behind the scenes just to be like, this is getting taken this way, by the way. And the person comes back to me and they're like, like, that is definitely not, So you are right. And I fully believe as well, one of my good friends always says to me, if in doubt, stand still.
Yes.
So if you're in the social media community and there's a storm going on and you want to put your point in, always just remember that other people can see it. And I always just think, if you're thinking, oh, maybe I should or I shouldn't, you normally probably shouldn't.
That is like the best advice, especially if you are self-employed.
Absolutely.
Because some of the things that are out there, me and my friend were talking about this the other day, and it's just like people having these businesses and going, you know, blah, blah, this type of person and whatever. And you're like, well, this is a business page. Okay, freedom of speech, honey. But you're maybe tarring an entire community here with what you're saying. It's like, just be careful what you say.
Absolutely.
And just think how it would make you feel. I mean, we're taught this when we are children.
We are.
People.
I know, and I think the problem is we never had social media when we were children. No. So I think the world in general with the, like, obviously increase in social media, it is a different place to be now. It is. Because you've got real life community and then you've got virtual community, and it's a lot easier for people to behave in a certain way when they're not face to face with somebody.
And you really have to, for me, being an online business, I think you do have to cut out the crap. And if somebody is, you know, damaging your business, then block. Like, it's that simple. You know, it's not like if you're on a street with a shop and there's somebody harassing you, you know, you can close the door on them, but they can still see you through the window. Online, block.
100%. It's a powerful wee setting that.
It is. It's very handy. Because I have things, obviously, I was telling you about, I do my live sales on Instagram.
Love it.
So you do get these ghost accounts.
So
it's people that obviously just don't have lives. Because what they do is they come on and they may bag, you know, 10 items, and then when I send the invoice they just ghost you, so they don't pay, but you think I've then got however many people in line for certain items, but then after the live I might go back to them and go, oh, this person hasn't paid, would you like it? And they go, oh no, I got something else, so I've lost a sale.
100%.
You know, but it's like, who has the time
I don't
to
know.
sit there and do that?
I don't know.
I just don't get it.
I do believe in karma though.
Oh yeah.
Me too. I do believe in karma.
Yep. And I'm also a descendant of the Pendle Hill witches, so don't fuck with me.
Tell me more about that.
Oh wow, that's a whole nother podcast. You should come back, actually. You can interview me, we'll do a Halloween podcast. I love it. But so not only do you these networking events now, you do brunches. So I haven't been to one, so tell me, because I really want to come.
So the brunches are like one of my favourite things.
Do you always do it in the rooftop?
So always do it at the Rads and Reds.
It's our favourite place.
The Red Sky Bar.
Isn't it? Love
it up there.
So good.
It's brilliant vibes. Brilliant. And we've got women that walk through the door that have never been. So see, when they see that view, right away you've got them, because they're just like, wow. This is Glasgow.
Even on a crap weather day.
It's still cool. So we do these every couple of months is what we aim to try and do. And we have different sponsors that do different drinks and do different gifts as well. So everybody typically gets if you're a drinker, a glass of fizz and a rival and 3 cocktails, or a non-alcoholic mimosa and 3 mocktails. Everyone walks away with a gift, and we've typically always got some form of entertainment. So to give you an example, we're doing our next one is October, and it's going to be a nod to Queen Bee.
Oh, cool.
So it'll be a Beyonce style brunch. I've got a Beyonce drag artist coming to host it and do some drag bingo. And it's sponsored by Ellis Rum, which are a new rum from Scotland, and they have got, the reason why it came about with the Queen Bee is because they've got Scottish honey in their rum.
Oh, this isn't... who is
Carol
it?
Jackson.
Oh, because there's another new rum company, and they've opened just in Dunbarton.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so it must be a thing.
I do love her rum. So she's got a wee bee hotel in the Blytheswood Gardens.
Oh, wow.
So they make their own honey. So that's how that came about. So it's really good vibes. And actually, I have got so many women that come alone.
Right.
And they book solo, and then I know that they're coming alone, and I put everybody together basically, because it's a real opportunity to make friends.
Yeah.
We've got lots of women in the community always looking for making friends.
And again, going back, that's why I was drawn to you. Because I didn't know anybody.
Yeah.
You know.
And that's it.
And there's a lot of kind of Scottish things where it's like, oh, do you need to be Scottish? Do you know what I mean? But it doesn't have that at all.
No,
it's just like
not.
You know, women supporting women.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And friendship is such a big pillar as well, because I think in a woman's life it's really easy to fall away from friendships with all the different things that happen in a woman's life. So
do you know men as well? Because we were saying this the other day, like, because obviously when men get together it's like, all right, how's it been going? Yeah, fine. Oh yeah, anything new? No, not really. All right, caught up.
Yeah,
like that's them.
This is true.
But then we'll say, like me and Paul, we're best friends. You know, we're each other's best friends. But it is though, isn't it? With your partner, that's how it should be. But I think like the friends that I've kept in my life get what I do, which is very difficult. I understand. I appreciate it's really difficult because I'm freaking crazy. I'm here, there and everywhere, but they get it, and they support me and they cheer me on, because there's a lot when you're in the entertainment industry of people. There's jealousy. There's people. Who does she think she is? Do you know, and things like that. And I'm like, well, I'm just me. Do you know?
Yeah, and you absolutely are. Yeah.
But it's literally that thing of people. I don't know where it comes from, but then it's funny because when you start, you know, paving the way or doing big things, like I've done some big shows recently, people come out of the woodwork. I know her, and you're like, really?
Yeah.
And it's such a strange thing. I mean, don't get me wrong, 90% of people are happy for you and stuff, but it's different when you've got those people that are literally cheering you on.
Oh, definitely. You know, that's it.
That I know I can phone them and go, oh my God, I'm doing this gig, and they're like, yeah, like they love it, you know.
Yeah, I love that.
Because you know that there'll be some people who go, oh yeah, cool, and you're like, oh.
Yeah.
And you almost don't want to say it to them because you don't like want to upset them or rub it in their face.
Or feel like you're like, what's the word, boasting? That's a big word. And
that's what I've always felt like, I think, because I've kind of...
But you're not.
Well, no, but it's a weird thing because I keep a lot of it down, you know, and people say your social media should be bigger and this and that. And I'm like, I don't really like putting it out there all the time. And when I was younger, when I was at school, you know, because that's the start of my bullying really, was that they didn't get me. They were like, well, she's doing this and that, and because my mum's a makeup artist and a costume designer.
Amazing.
So she was doing a lot of things, and they'd be like, oh, what's your news this week, you know, at school? And it's like news, and I'd be, oh, I did this and this, and they'll be going, oh, shut up, like she's so full of shit, you know. But I was bullied for being,
it was a jealousy thing.
Yeah. So I think that in adult life made me think, well, just don't go on about it. Do you know what I mean?
Which is a shame.
It is, really.
Because you should be shouting from the rafters all the amazing things you do.
Yeah, it's crazy, isn't it?
I know,
how it affects
but
you.
I understand what you're saying, because you just want to kind of keep it. Yeah. But you're obviously a very good reader of people. And know the situations that you can go, bang.
Yeah. And it is one of those things where sometimes, even like doing this podcast, because I love hearing people's stories and stuff, but then people start asking me questions, and I'm like, anyway, back to you, like, do you know, like, because I feel like I talk like, I'm like, oh, I don't want to talk about myself. It's such a weird, you know, and I've never spoke about that. It's like a thing. It's weird, isn't it?
Please do, because so you've got an amazing story to tell. And your followers will absolutely want to know every detail.
Yeah, oh, they do, don't they? Trust me. I know. Jesus, get it all. But it is that thing where, like you say, at these brunches, especially women of a certain age, so it's like, where do we meet people?
Yeah.
Do you know, because I came up here and I was like, in my 20s, and I was like, well, you're not meeting people at school. You're not, like, you can meet people at the gym, but like I say, when I was going to the gym, it was all the OAPs, and I love them. Don't get me wrong, they're the best ladies ever. But like, you can't. It's really hard to meet people.
I think as you get older, it's really hard, and I think because a lot of people, even romantically, are meeting online now.
That freaks me out.
Oh, I
say to him all the time, I'm like, thank God.
Yeah,
thank God. I was like, because I would not want to be doing online dating.
It's like a tough landscape, isn't it?
It's
I know
frightening.
A few of my friends are doing it, and it's just. Yeah,
scary.
There just seems
you're worried for them.
Yeah. You hear some positive stories. Don't get me wrong, but I think on the whole, you hear a lot of like not amazing stuff,
weird stuff. But my friend who we had on the podcast a few weeks ago, when we were at her wedding, the registrar was like, oh yes, and they met on a dating app, and I turned to Paul and I went, what? Sorry, what? And I didn't even know that's how they met.
Okay,
but they're incredible, and they've got 2 kids, and they've just got the best life ever.
So it can work.
It works.
I think the positive is, like a social media group, or you get to meet people that you wouldn't have maybe met out at a bar or out at a club.
Yeah.
So it does widen that in that sense. But I think on the other side of it gives there's so much choice for people, and it's
a bit throwaway, isn't it?
It's a bit throwaway, and you hear of people sending out the same messages to 20 people.
And it's a bit sick.
Yeah. So for the goodies, I'm sure it's worth it.
Yeah. I mean, I just think that, that's another thing about these groups. So, not just the networking events, the brunches, the book club, the podcast, which you're going to come back to.
Yes,
definitely going to bring it back.
You're coming back. We're talking about this witch thing.
Yes, we're doing it. We're doing it. But I think, thank goodness for that, because there'll be people that you won't even know that you've literally saved them from a dark place.
Do you know what? There's been quite a lot of messages that have come in that make it all so worthwhile. Like, see, even if you are having like a bit of aggression in the back end because somebody doesn't like getting a decline post, or and I understand, I do understand, like, where people are coming from in any situation. But sometimes when you're getting kind of a wee bit trolled, you're a bit like, oh man, like this is really tough. But then you'll get a message coming in from somebody that's just got a really positive story, so
it makes it all worthwhile.
And so we've had women saying that you've really helped me feel less isolated, like that are really lonely. We've had women be bridesmaids for each other, start businesses together, go travelling the world together. We've got a lot of positive stories, which makes it all worthwhile.
So if you've got an idea for an online enterprise, just do it.
Yeah, I think sometimes and that's one of my favourite sayings, is that Susan Jeffers quote, feel the fear and do it anyway.
Yes.
Because if you don't, you'll always wonder, but if you do, really what is the worst that can happen? So maybe with that group it might not have worked, and I might have shut it down and then done something different. So I think if you've got an inclination to do something, give it a try, and you'll always learn and grow from anything that you do. I think so.
Totally.
Yeah, and it's been totally worthwhile. It's a nice space to be in. Hearing yourself saying that you like it, that really does light up my soul.
Really cool. No, it's cool, and I think it's like ultra amazing feminism. Yes, but like our vibe of feminism. I think we have. See, this is one thing I want to ask you, because I know that like it's a female oriented brand. It's like it's what it is, but everyone gets a bit scared of the word feminism, I think.
It's so funny that you said this. I'm bringing out a merch line that's got a t-shirt that says Feminist AF on it.
Nice.
Because I know exactly what you're saying, and I've been through a journey with feminism, because when I was being brought up, it was kind of, and I don't know who taught or where I heard this from, but it was like, if you're a feminist, you don't support women that like to wear push-up bras or wear short skirts. So I was kind of like, okay, so maybe I'm not a feminist then, because I think women can say, whatever, like.
So there's a rule book.
So there's a rule book for feminism. So that made me then think I'm not a feminist, but actually, well, of course we're feminists.
See, and we're in the same boat. I've literally had this for years.
Yes.
And do you remember years and years ago, there was a thing, and it was about the ring girls getting abuse from feminist groups and stuff like that. And I was just, and it was one of those things, you think, don't post. I was like, fuck it, post, because I was fuming.
Send.
But I've done it built my business. Like, I made money doing ring girl, doing motorsports, doing promo for vape brands, doing hair shows. And I was, the bit of stuff, if that's what you want to call me. But I wasn't actually, because I would be well versed in the brand that I was working for. Somebody had a question, I could.
You're selling it.
I was getting booked
you're a
like this.
saleswoman, 100%.
I was getting booked because you do get a lot of these, promo girls that just stand there and go, do you want a leaflet? Do you want a leaflet? And you're like, no, I can't do that for my brain. So, I mean, they would get more out of the money for me because I could sell for them as well.
100%.
But I'm also there in their branding and doing the whole thing. Yeah. But I was like, feck off slating these women that you have no idea about, that just because you're jealous because they're good looking. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? That they're making money from their image. Who cares how they pay their bills? It's like sex workers. Yeah. It's like, live and let live.
I know. Why? It was that type of judgment though that really put me away from it.
Me too, because I thought, right, I'm not a feminist.
No.
Because they're just these angry women that are very hairy and just, do you know what I mean? But it's not true.
But then I know, and then I think it's up to us to bring in the new wave of feminism, because I did a lot of research into it, because our new branding is a real nod to like kind of 60s, 70s.
Okay.
So kind of third wave? So was it like all the different waves of feminism?
Yeah, so the rights to vote.
Rights to vote. So right back to then, exactly.
To have a credit card.
Exactly.
Because was it like the 70s before women could have a credit card?
I think it was.
That? I mean, what the hell?
So the reason why...
That's insane.
So third wave is 90s, you're right. 70s was second wave.
Yeah.
And at that time, that's when women were allowed to have their own groups.
Oh my gosh.
So they had their own like kind of social groups. So I was like, well, this is like, I want to nod to that time. Yeah. I think every wave of feminism has had its like downs as well. It's not all been positive, because a lot at the beginning it was only focusing on white women, and there's racism, there was all sorts of different stuff. But I think as we now move, all the lessons that we've learned, I think now we're moving into like the fourth wave. I'm sure it's up to us to be like, no,
to dictate what it is.
Feminism is supporting women to be, do, and like thrive, just support each other to rise and do what they want, wear what they want. And
no disrespect, dudes, but we run the world. Like Beyonce says it's a reality. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's just a fact. But it's like, I'm so glad that we're on the same path with that, and we're saying that we're going to reinvent it, because it has held me back before thinking, when people, are you a feminist? And they say it in that way, don't they? With an attitude. And you're like, but what do you think a feminist is?
Yeah, I know.
And I feel like flashing in my pits just to show them, like, I'm not. Do you know what I mean?
Then, do you know what as well? I think there's been a lot of undercurrents of the patriarchy telling women what feminism is and isn't. So it's almost like that makes us strong as a collective. So pepper it with stuff that's really maybe not that great.
Yeah.
So
it's true. I mean, like we were talking about the witch thing. There's been a documentary recently about the Salem witch trials and about Pendle Hill witches and things like that. And there was a book that was out, basically written by a man who... He was basically wanting to downgrade women. He was wanting to put them in their place. He was saying, well, these women are witches because they're healing people. And how dare they? Because, doctors are men. It's not men heal. It's like, it's such a... And you kind of trace it back and you go, wow, like that book back then is like what going viral is now. Yeah. Because it travelled to America. It travelled around the world, and these women were persecuted for healing.
And the witch wound is something which is highly talked about now, isn't it? Because I think women, like, if you can't find your voice and everything because you're actually scared, because back in the day they would have burned you if you were rising and you were doing stuff out of your station. So it's almost like it's ingrained in women as a...
Totally. And do you know, it totally reflects back to... This is why history is so important, and what really annoys me is when they try and like eradicate history, and what happened, it's like, well, it happened.
Yeah, you have to learn and continuously learn, or else the next stage you'll forget and then do it again.
Exactly. It's true though. And I think now, it's the same thing. It's like when you used to get these trials and it'd be like, oh, Goody Jefferson saw Goody Smith levitating in the living room, and it was bullshit. Like, they were lying. They were making this stuff up. But look at things now. See these women, that might be quite vindictive for whatever reason. Everyone's got their reasons, but calm down, bitch. Do you know what I mean? Like, but some of these women that be like, oh, well, I had my nails done there and she did this to me and blah, blah, blah. And they put this out there. It's the same thing.
Yeah.
So some people tell lies because they don't like other people progressing in business. And it's like, you know what, girls? Just frigging support each other. Like, because, it doesn't make the world go round if the aggression just is hurtful.
I think women get enough hate.
Yeah.
So...
don't hate each other.
Yeah, as a gender, we should try and make sure that we're just bigging each other up and keeping the ladder down.
Yeah. And I knew I could talk to you about this because a lot of people are a bit like, oh, you know, like, well, no, all women support each other. Well, sometimes people don't. It's people. At the end of the day, it's people.
And it's human nature. And some people, I always believe, like, if somebody's got badness in them, it's because of something that's happened to them.
Totally.
So, you know... Everybody, you're
not born bad.
No, I don't think so. So, it's kind of trying to just be open, but ultimately, if you're putting out negativity and hatred,
it's
then
just going to come back to you.
I feel like it will come back to you, and that's going to make life so much harder. So it's almost like put out the positive vibes, you get the positive vibes back, and life is a lot nicer.
Yeah, totally. I completely agree. I'm just so glad we agree on that.
You with feminism.
We're the new feminists, honey.
You with feminism.
We are feminism.
Let's bring it in.
Bloody love it. So what is next for Glasglow? What are you... So you talk about the new brand and stuff, but what else? What are you planning? I'm excited.
So...
I want to know. Give me an exclusive.
I feel as though one of my dreams would be to have like a chat show.
Yeah.
So almost like a Glasgow's Loose Women.
Yes.
I feel like, but Glasgow's Loose Women kind of means something different. So, and it's probably a highly trademarked term anyway. But
we'd have to come up with something else.
Yeah, but imagine you could bring together amazing powerhouses, have people dipping in and out, sharing expertise, knowledge.
Can I be honest?
100%. With that hair, I swear to God, like I used to have that colour of hair. Do you remember?
Pink, this has been 17 years.
You have done so well.
Insane,
that is dedication, and also your hair looks really healthy.
I spend a fortune.
Yeah, but then it's
Kerastase all the way. There's my secret.
Yeah,
there's my secret.
Because it's amazing. Because I remember when I would wake up in the mornings and my hair would be like this, and it would just be like dry balls of hair, and I was like, okay, maybe I should go back.
I think I told you about the shampoo and stuff, didn't I?
Yeah,
when
you
we
did.
Met?
You told me about another one as well.
Kerastase and I can't think what else was I using.
And I cut a thing to top up the colour as well. You gave me all the tips back in the day.
The conditioner balls and stuff. Yeah.
But yeah, so that's the long term dream, and I want to have a premises, like an actual
like
membership hub.
Yeah.
So I'd love to have like this hub where people do events in it. I would love a rooftop pool.
Yeah.
Like a place where there's a creche, a doggy daycare.
Like a Glasglow mansion.
Like a Glasglow mansion.
Oh my God.
So if there's anyone listening to this, it's an investor.
Yeah. Hello.
Has a few spare
Show me the money.
So that's the dream. And then I would ultimately love to franchise this.
Yeah.
Because...
Oh, that's what I was going to say.
Yeah.
I feel like every city should have a glow club.
Could have a glow club.
Totally.
So I've had messages before from women dotted all about in different countries as well to say, well, this is amazing, would you bring it? Yeah. But I believe that it's good to have like people on the ground in a city. Like, so I couldn't do... someone from Liverpool had reached out to me. Like, I don't know, like I love Liverpool, I've been there, but I don't know enough about the city and the culture, and so I was always thinking to myself, no, I would prefer to package this up as a business in probably a pink box, the pink print, and give it to another businesswoman and say, like, here's everything you shouldn't do because I've done it, and here's some stuff you should do, and make a business out of it. So that's the dream, but I don't know how long away that is.
Okay. I can see it.
I need to build it.
I can see it. If you book them, they will come.
Field of Dreams.
That's what I'm saying.
That is like one of my favourites.
I'm telling you, it's a fact. It's just a bloody fact. It's like, but the thing is, if you've got enough energy behind it, like I say this with our music, and during lockdown we started a new project called FHE, which is like 80s synthwave inspired music. But
love it.
That's our vibe. Like that is our thing.
Yeah.
And all the other stuff we've kind of done for commercial and whatever, but we were like, let's just put some stuff out that we love.
Yeah.
And the reaction was insane. Like, you know, we've got fans in, I don't know, Finland, America, like all these mad places. And that's the power of the internet, obviously, but it was such a thing where if you've got that much passion and belief in something, other people can't help but go, oh, yeah. Oh, I want to know.
Where can I listen to that?
Oh, I'll send you all this,
yeah,
honey.
Please
FHE music, you know.
Love it. Okay, love it.
We're actually going to be doing some gigs soon, so you'll have to watch this space. Glasgow.
Yes.
Yeah,
send
you'll
me
have
the
to
details,
come.
yeah.
But it is that thing where it's your passion project, and it's like this, like Pinkie's Emporium and how it started, and I was telling you about that, like selling online and things like that. But I knew I needed my own space. Like I knew it, but I was frightened to death.
Yeah.
Because you think straight away you've got rent and you're like, oh my God.
Yeah.
But if you believe in something enough, people believe it too.
Yeah, I love that. And you know, you actually hit the nail on the head, because I am nervous about the bricks and mortar premises.
Yeah.
But it is just, it's going to be like that press and go live in the Facebook group. I'm just going to have to get in hundreds of money and then go for it.
It doesn't even need to be huge. Do you know what I mean? It's like me starting off with this space, and it's not massive, but it's perfect. It does everything. Yeah. You know.
Yeah.
And it's all literally me. There's, you know, it is your brain space, and I think when you do that, people are going to be drawn to you for that, because I think you're kind of on there on a pedestal of, this is how you do business. When I think of you, I think of businesswoman.
Oh, do you know, that's amazing, because honestly, really I feel as if I have stumbled and tripped and made so many mistakes, but I like to be honest about that, because there's no perfection in business. You just have to do it and see if it works, and do it, see if it works.
But you do have that thing of, like, this is how you do it. Do you know what I mean?
I can't.
Yeah, no, you really do. Honestly, you do. You do. No, you really do. But that's why people have bought into what you do, because
thank you so much.
You are on that thing of, this is a Glasgow businesswoman. Like, literally, no, it is. It's true. It's true.
Oh,
just saying, honey.
Just made it. I feel like my head's not going to fit out your door.
I'm telling you, it's true. No, it is true. You need to. I feel like you need to hear that, because obviously you're up there, and people maybe won't say that to you because they'll think, well, you know that anyway. Do you know what I mean?
Well, do you know what? That's so, because I am one of those people that I don't. Like, I do believe in myself sometimes, and then I don't. It's just a journey, isn't it? You just...
And your family and your friends, or maybe obviously you talk to them about that, but obviously me as like an impartial person saying to you, you're doing it right. Like, you're doing it. But I feel like it's I think when you're in business, you need to hear that as well sometimes, that like, this is good. By the way, this is good.
Thank you.
Do you know what I mean?
No, honestly, I really appreciate it.
Yeah, no, I do think it is a thing, and I think like not long ago I was at the train station in Glasgow in Central, and this teenage girl ran up to me with this piece of paper, and I was like, she was like, oh, there you go. She's like, I love your hair. And I was like, oh, thanks. And I read this piece of paper. I actually posted it not long ago, and it was just like, I just think you're beautiful, and I just love your vibe and everything about you. Please pass this on to another lady that you just love their vibe, you know. And I was like, I've literally started crying at the train station, because I was just like, oh, that's amazing. God, this is just, and these were kids, do you know what I mean? And you just think, yeah, like, this is great. But I just think that, you know, if you see somebody wearing something nice, tell them.
Yeah, because it does make somebody's day.
If you go in somebody's shop and it's a small business, and you can tell it's theirs, and the owner's sitting there,
treasure it.
Tell them, wow, this is great.
Yeah,
because you're just taking them to another level. You know.
Yeah, I love it.
And it creates more positivity and more connections, and I just think the nicer you are, you know, even if someone's rude to you, just be nice back, because you might find they're having a bad day, and when you're nice, they might go, back down to normal level.
Definitely,
you know?
Kill them with kindness.
Totally.
That's what my mum always used to say.
Yeah, it's true.
But I know you can never just be too kind, really, can you? And people will either like it or they don't. So
this is it. This is it. So I'm very excited to be on. What are we going to call it? Lucy Glasgow ladies. I mean, I'm not Scottish. I'm not Scottish.
That does not matter. This is just about us all, like. But you're a Glasgow woman. You're a Dumbarton woman.
Yeah. Oh, I've been here 12 years.
Exactly.
Now. I'm basically like pure Scottish.
Yeah. Your accent's good as well.
Everyone tells me it's crap.
No, the thing is, it doesn't matter where you're from. We're all in it together.
Yeah.
But me and my friend Victoria, so I think she would definitely be involved. You would love Vic.
Yeah.
We did something during lockdown called the Glow Show. We went on Instagram and we kind of did like a wee mock like chat show. Like we did questions and we did competitions.
Yeah.
I think the Glow show.
Oh yeah,
that's got real leverage.
honey, book us right now. We're ready.
The only thing is though, it might be better on YouTube because we'd like to swear.
Oh yeah.
We don't really want to be.
Yeah, we need to be free.
We don't want the bosses being like, you can't say that.
Yeah, no, forget it. Yeah, we'll be on BBC Three. We'll be on that instead. Can you swear on that? I feel like you can.
Oh, I don't know.
I mean, they put Drag Race on there now, so surely to goodness.
Well, maybe that's our space.
Yeah. Maybe we'll just be like that, beep, 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 beep. Like, no one will know what we're on about.
They'll just...
It's so good. Paul can come and film it. We'll sort it out.
Do you know what? It's sorted. Actually,
we're ready.
This is the start of the dream.
It is. But this is why you're supposed to come here today.
Yeah, I know. I love it.
Just know. So I like to ask everybody.
Okay.
For a random fact.
Yes.
Random fact.
So my random fact, I was thinking about this. I was like, what could I say? So I'm not sure if this constitutes as a random fact, but so travelling is one of the things I love most in the world.
Yeah.
So I have travelled to 16% of the countries in the world.
Wow.
16, not 60.
That's a lot though.
Do you think, is that quite good?
Yeah.
I've got this app and you just put in everywhere you've gone and then it tells you like your percentages and all that.
Oh, I need to have a look at that.
So it's good. What's it called? I can't remember. I'll tell you.
Oh yeah, I'll need to have a look at that.
So that's
I've been a few places like doing gigs though. To be fair, I just go to Poland quite a lot.
So, but then
I've seen a lot of Poland. It's beautiful.
Oh, I want to go. I want to go skiing in Poland.
Well, I did a show in a place called Zakopanem, which is Poland, but it's like the border of Slovakia.
Okay.
Incredible.
Right.
Although it was a very stressful time because I lost my suitcase, and it was the biggest show of my life. Yeah.
What did you do?
And I went into this beautiful hotel that had like a windmill in the foyer and like water buckets. It was just and do you know when you walk about and it's just like the smell of wood burning fires?
Oh, I love it.
It was like a whimsical land. Yep. You're like stomping through the snow. Thank goodness I had big boots. I literally only had the clothes on my back, nothing. And went into this hotel room with no suitcase. It's a trip. I'm telling you. You know when you walk into a room and you don't have anything.
So there's nothing to do then?
No, I literally just walked in and was like, oh my God. And this was after crying in the airport. But I went into the bathroom and I held onto the radiator and I was just like, you can do it. You can do this. But
so
honestly, it's bigger than Glastonbury, the show. It's huge. I'll show it you afterwards. It's insane.
And you did it just in your...
They got me a stylist.
Yeah.
Handed me a pair of green sequin trousers and I was like, yeah, that's not happening. I was like, I'm going to look like a backwards carrot, mate. Like, no. That's not happening. So yeah, after much trial and tribulations, I wore basically a streetwalker skirt and the fur coat that I had. It was like, it was what it was.
It worked. I bet you made it work. I bet you did.
Yeah. But I came off the stage and I was just like that. If I can do that, I can literally do anything.
100%.
I think it took me to another level. And that's what I'm saying. Make the most out of situations.
Yeah.
Do you know if it's going really shit, there's a reason.
Yeah, I'm such a believer in that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I mean, to the point where, I wouldn't, like, growing up with my mum being in the entertainment industry and she did makeup and things like that. And I did makeup when I was like 12. Do you know what I mean? I loved makeup. And when you do beauty therapy, especially back then, it was, you are an image. Like, you're selling an image. Yeah. You wouldn't go in a salon back then and they weren't fully made up. Like, now people don't wear as much makeup and stuff. Back then, absolutely not. Like, the head of the college would come in and go, why have you not got lipstick on? Like, it was pretty intense. Okay. So I was like that for years and years, and I got there and I didn't have any makeup. Like, I literally had like bits of stuff in my bag and I felt sick. And I remember having to go to the rehearsal and I just didn't have any makeup on. And I was like, oh my God. And I actually let someone take a picture of me and I was like, you've come a long way, honey. You've come a long way. You let that bitch take a picture of you with no makeup on. But it was crazy. Yeah. It took me to my 20s to get to that. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, oh, absolutely.
But you do. I think it's all experiences. And this is why I would say to everybody, get to a Glasglow Girls Club networking event because it's literally going to change your life.
Oh, thanks so much. I feel like I'm going to start crying. Thank you for having me. Honestly, this has been so much fun.
It's so good. And do you have, I feel like we've given loads of tips, but have you got, tips, life hacks? What's your favourite?
I would probably say, linked to the travelling thing.
Yeah. Try
and get out and see as many different cultures.
Yes.
People.
Yeah.
Be in contact with people with different viewpoints as you. Put yourselves in situations that aren't your regular situation.
Yeah.
Because you massively grow and expand your mind from it. It's really...
And it expands your business.
Because you take that back. And I think when you expand your spirit as well, like that, you take it into every aspect of your life.
Totally.
And 100%, as we've mentioned, feel the fear and do it anyway.
Yeah.
Like, because
Totally
regardless, humans should be on a path of consistent learning, I think.
Yeah.
And I know that some people, like, know a lot already, but there's always more to learn.
There always is.
And then that's how you just constantly grow.
Yeah. Don't be scared.
Don't be scared.
Just do it.
Find out things, like, look into things that you've got absolutely no idea about.
Yeah.
And
Love
then,
that.
you grow. I do believe that people, now that's saying people don't change, I think they can if they want to, but they need to do the work and they need to develop themselves.
Yeah, love that. This is from the business babe's mouth, guys, so just listen. Take it in, listen. And so how do we get you on socials?
Social at Glasglow Girls Club on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, pretty much every single channel. Don't miss out the second L in Glasglow. Glasglow.
Yeah, because it tries to correct you and it's like, no, honey.
It autocorrects. My phone now autocorrects when I put Glasgow. It makes it Glasglow.
It's so like whenever we put FHE and it goes the, and we're like, no. Like, people, I can't find your music. And I'm like, fucking FHE. So annoying. And the website is .com, isn't it?
Yeah, GlasglowGirlsClub.com.
Amazing. Thank you so much.
This has been amazing.
You're fabulous.
Thank you, as are you.
Come back anytime.
Oh, please have me
I
anytime.
can't wait to be on your show.
Oh, let's do it.
Let's give it to him.
Yeah.
Love it. Love it. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.